Okay. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Dream Girl Dream. And I'm excited today to have Nakisha Wynn on my podcast. She is a mom of four. She is a blogger, a blog coach, and so much more. And I want to talk to her because I think she is a perfect person to motivate us moms, who have kids, to not want to use kids as an excuse why we can't follow our dreams.
Absolutely.
So let's get right into it with Nakisha. Thank you for coming on Dream Girl Dream.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm a long-time fan of yours, girl. So whatever you want, I'm here.
So I was reading that you are a Florida native. Have you ever lived anywhere else?
Never.
I've
always been here. Graduated high school, went to FAMU.
Oh, you did go to FAMU? Okay.
Lived in Tallahassee for a little bit, moved back to Tampa, moved here to Central Florida. I've been here all my life, literally.
So you lived in Tampa at one point?
I'm from Tampa. I was born and raised in Tampa, left there when I graduated high school, went to FAMU, went back to Tampa, and then moved over here to Central Florida.
Wow. Okay. So do you ever want to move anywhere else?
I wanted to move for a very long time. To be honest, my oldest, was the biggest reason I didn't, because I'm a single mother. His father is here and they have a really close relationship. And so for me, co-parenting was a huge part of why I didn't move. And I did not want to disrupt my son's routine, right? I did not want to disrupt his life and go and move. I always wanted to move to Atlanta, but nowadays I'm just like, okay, that wasn't in the cards for me, and I'm not too mad that I did not move. But I always wanted to move to Atlanta. That was like my dream place to live. And now I'm I was like, oh girl, yes, I'm gonna live in Atlanta, because Atlanta was the city that really birthed my love for entrepreneurship. Okay. Going there and just seeing so many African Americans really just
doing it.
I've always been the only Black girl, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In everything I did, in my job, and like one of the only Black people. So to go to a city and for one, just to see so many Black people, and then also so many doing so well, it just really did something for me. And even right now, like everybody I talk to online, all the things, my highest people are all from Atlanta. I love Atlanta. I still love
I moved there from Atlanta, so I
know. So I know all about it. I love Atlanta, the people from Atlanta, the culture, and I love Atlanta. But I'm chilling right now. So it's just like whenever I want to travel, I can, but I'm just chilling.
Yeah, that's how I feel. That's what I miss the most, is the culture, the people, the events. I just miss that life, but like you, I'm here in Tampa. I'm chilling. God is doing something new with me here. So I'm just embracing it. So
absolutely. And it's a drive away.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So let me ask you a question. Have you ever felt stuck?
Absolutely.
And how did you get unstuck when you felt stuck?
Okay, so to be really, really transparent, when I had my youngest three children, so my youngest three children have the same father, and when that relationship ended, I felt really, really stuck. It was like, oh my God, I had the nerve and audacity to have more children, after my baby was 8. My son was going to turn 9. And I turned around and had 3 more children. Like I felt really, really, really stuck for a very long time and experienced some postpartum, and I went through it, to be honest. And one day, when I was pregnant with my daughters, I just looked myself in the mirror like, listen, get over it. This is what it is. You decided that you were going to have these children, and now you got to boss up and take care of them. That's it. That's the bottom line. You're either going to sit here and you're going to sulk in this place, or you're going to move forward and give these kids the best life possible. And that's what I did. It really, honestly, when you know how you just look back over things and you're like, wow, if that would have never happened, I wonder if I would have did this. My children, honestly, my small kids were the reason that I pursued entrepreneurship. I had always been that person pushing other people to pursue their dreams and go after their goals. one of my best friends, she back in the day, used to rap and write songs, and we visited Atlanta a lot. And we were in studios all the time. And I've met probably every person you can think of. And I would push her and push her. And my sister, she did hair, and my mom, just pushing everybody to do their thing and follow their
Right.
dreams. But I never followed mine. I was just always other people's cheerleader,
Well, what was your
so
dream though that you weren't following though?
I wanted to go be an attorney. So I
Oh,
wanted to go,
okay.
I wanted to go to law school because I was going to be a child advocate. I wanted to advocate for children that were in the foster care system or that were in, homes and adoption and all that kind of stuff. I wanted to do family law. And I was just like, I'm going to be an attorney. I'm going to run my own practice and I'm going to advocate for children. I'm going to help moms. And I just knew I was going to be an attorney. Like that was my dream. That's what I wanted to do. And I realized eventually that it's not that I necessarily wanted to be an attorney. It wasn't the attorney thing that I feel like I was really craving. It was the freedom and it was the ability to speak my mind and advocate for people that might not have the strength that I have, and I think I told you this before on one of our dream chats. It's like now, guess what? I can be that. I am the voice of the moms who are totally overwhelmed and don't know how they're going to make it out. And here I am like, girl, listen, I have 4 kids. Okay. I'm out here and I'm doing it. Girl, you better pick your lip and your entire face up and let's do this thing, And the same thing, like for my kids, it's like, I feel like, you know what? Myself and by the grace of God, I stood up and I was like, I'm not going to allow my circumstances to determine my future. I don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I became the voice for them. My daughters, they have some speech delays. I have to advocate for them in the school system. So I feel like deep down, the things that I wanted to do as an attorney, I am having the opportunity to do them now. I finally just was like, you know what? These kids deserve the best life they can have. And the only way I see myself being able to do that for them is by writing my own story, by, paving my own way and being an entrepreneur so that I can have the freedom that I need in order to give them the life that I want them to have.
Now, your youngest daughters are how old? 4 or 5?
6.
They're 6. And how long have you been an entrepreneur?
So I left when they were, was it 2? So 4 years. This is the 4th year. Now, when I first left, full transparency, because I don't want anybody to think that I just left my job and everything was all peaches and cream, because that's not what happened at all.
And what was your job? Tell us what your job was.
Okay, so I left an investment banking firm at Charles Schwab to go and be a pre-K teacher, to be a VPK teacher, because I experienced a horrible situation with my children in a daycare center. And I walked away from my corporate job and was like, I can't do it. And so I took a full year off and I just stayed home with my kids. And so finally I was like, okay, now you're going to be depleting your money. You ain't going to have no say. You need to do something. Yeah. And these children need some form of interaction. And so I became a VPK teacher. And so I stayed with them there. I was there for maybe like 2.5, 3 years that I was a VPK teacher, until finally I just was not fulfilled. You know, when you're just in a space and you're like, girl, this is not what you're about to, you're supposed to be doing. You're not fulfilling your potential. And then a situation happened at that daycare center where I worked, where someone almost had to get snatched about my child. And I was like, God, you have to be telling me something. What is it? And I just decided to walk away. Now, did I walk away and just become this booming entrepreneur? Absolutely not. I was willing to do what it took to replace the income that I had walked away from, right? So I was already doing a side hustle at home. I was taking phone calls for a retailer at night while I was working that job during the daytime. And so when I left the job, I was like, you know what? I just need to replace this many dollars and this many cents, right? And that's what I did. I started to do Shipt on the side. I don't know if you know, I've worked with them a lot.
Yeah, I saw your videos.
Yeah, I work with them a lot. Even I went up, they flew me up. I did some trainings for them. Like it all just, it all has really just happened from me just saying, you know what, this is the life I want. This is what I'm going to do. So I start doing shifts, making videos about it. They called me up. So I start working with them. Then I was doing the job still until my blog started making money, and then it started making more than the job. And so all of this stuff just naturally happened. So I didn't just jump out here and be an entrepreneur. And I do want to motivate moms and tell them that you got to be willing to do what it takes to make your vision work. Right? You gotta, it will work if you work it.
Right.
Okay, I tell people that all the time. It'll work if you work it. So all I knew is that I needed this many dollars and this many cents to survive with my kids. It don't matter if I get it at a corporate job. It don't matter if I do it doing shit, if I do this blog, if I be a notary public. It didn't matter to me. You know, I would take 10 side hustles to get the dollar amount that I needed in order to be here with my babies. And it has just paid off for me.
And you know what, too? What word I hear when you speak is freedom, you know, because a lot of moms, if you're listening, like, you don't have to be an entrepreneur, but we all want freedom. You know what I mean? Like, we want the freedom to do what we want to do. The older I get, I just want to do what I want to do when I want to do it. I want to go to the store. I don't want to ask nobody, can I take no break? I don't want to ask nobody, can I take no vacation? I just want to be free. So you need to do what you need to do to have the income coming in so you can have freedom.
Absolutely. That was it for me, because, you know, I had 3 children under the age of 1 at one point. Well, no, my son was 1 and the girls were under 1. So 3 very small children. And so if one kid got sick, the other one, they couldn't come to school for 24 hours. And then they got the other kid sick and they couldn't come to school for 24 hours. Those people not trying to hear that every week that your kid is sick and you can't come to work. And so eventually I did begin to see, like, no, this is not going to work for me. No, this is not going to work. Not because I just didn't want to work. I had been working all my life, because my children were more important to me than a job.
Well, let me ask you a question with the entrepreneurship and just starting out and maintaining. Do you think a routine helps you?
Oh God. Oh my God. Yes. Especially when you have small children, especially when you have, so even now, I have my days set up to where literally certain days of the week I do certain things, certain times of the day I do certain things. It is essential. And to have these kids on a schedule too, especially if you're homeschooling or the children are home right now, it is essential.
Because are your kids home right now with you?
Oh, my kids are home all day, every day. Yes, they've been home for almost a year.
Wait a minute, my battery. I gotta hook my battery. Sorry. Okay. Okay. Yes, mine are home too. This March, matter of fact, March 16th, it'll be a year.
Yes. A full year, girl. A full year. And you know what? I'm just like, I have really just shocked myself. Honestly, I have shocked myself during this time. Like, oh my gosh, like, I'm really out here doing this. Girl, I'm telling you, you got to be your biggest cheerleader. And I am. I'm like, girl, you're going to hype yourself. You're going to get in that mirror. You're going to talk to yourself. You're going to encourage yourself, because, like, if you don't have it in you, people are trying to do their own things. There are women out here that will support you. Oh my God, trust me, because I wouldn't be here without them. But you got to be self-motivated. And it took one of my supporters to really make me realize. She was like, you know what, Nakisha, what I admire about you is so how self-motivated you are. And I never even realized that. I'm like, you know what?
Because people are watching and you have no idea who.
I literally have no idea. No, sometimes people, I'm like, girl, like it really, Bernetta, it really shocks me sometimes. I'm like, well, how do you even know me? It really shocks me. And she was like, you're so self-motivated. I'm like, you know what? You're right. I am.
You have to be. You have to be. I mean, because if you don't support yourself or believe in yourself, who will? You know, you got to believe in yourself first. So even though you are self-motivated, who else motivates you though? Who do you look to sometimes and be like, not necessarily that you want to be like them, but just like, you know what? I like how she does things. I like this. I like that.
Maddie James.
Maddie James.
Your girl operates in the spirit of excellence, period.
Okay.
period. I feel like obviously she has a team, but I feel like the way she executes her content and the way that she's just so present with her audience, I'm like, you know what, that's goals. Because one thing about it, I've never like responded to one of her like stories or something like that, and she hasn't responded. And I use that with my own audience. I'm like, you know what, they say something, I'm going to comment back. That is like big
I
to
agree.
me.
I try to do the same thing.
That is so big. And I'm like, you know what? If she can respond back, who the heck am I who to not think that I can't respond back? And just how she's so consistent. And I've been watching this girl since she got laid off from her job. So I've watched her for a very long time build to where she is. And I will never forget when she first left her job or whatever happened with the situation. This girl was doing a blog post a day, a podcast a day, posting to Instagram. I'm talking, she went complete beast mode, okay?
Mhm.
Complete beast mode. And I was like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, you got to get out here and get this work. And I realize a lot of times people don't understand that concept. And when I finally figured that, I was like, girl, this is not a cakewalk. This is real live work. Okay, a real live work, and you have to motivate yourself and be organized and figure out all the things. And so I really do admire her execution and her spirit of excellence that she operates with, and her transparency and her faith. I really like her. I really do.
Have you met her in person before?
I have not met her in person. Now, I have met her sister, and if she's anything similar to her, I'm pretty sure she's pretty dope. I've never met her in person.
I met her one time, but she wouldn't remember me. It was so many years ago. It was at a blogging event, but yeah, because she lives in Atlanta. At least she did when I did.
Oh yeah, I'm sure she was on the scene.
Yeah.
I've never met her, but I'm pretty sure she's dope. If she's anything like her sister, she's dope.
Now, outside of Maddie, who is one person that you would like to meet? It doesn't have to be an influencer, just one person you would love to meet.
Oh my gosh, who would I like to meet? Probably. Oh, this is a tough. But I'm gonna say Taraji P. Henson.
Oh, I would love to meet her too.
Yes, I love her. Like, one thing about her, she has been one of the people that have inspired me as a single mom to continue to go forth and continue to pursue, because she was walking across the stage getting her college degree with her son, and people told her she was crazy, that she couldn't go to Hollywood and make it with a child. And she is so vocal about that story, and it has truly inspired me. While I have a couple of more children than her story still has inspired me to, like Nakisha, this girl went all the way out to Hollywood and pursued her dream career in an industry that they say is cutthroat, with a whole entire baby. You can get this blog popping. You can get this real estate popping. You can do the things that you want to do too. So definitely Taraji P. Henson, for sure.
Now I heard the word real estate. Are you trying to drop something? Are you trying to tell us something?
I am not. I just want to, like, I always think 5-10 years ahead. Like, why are you doing this, Nakisha? What's the end goal? What's the purpose? What are we trying to make all this money for? And so, yeah, obviously I have 4 children, and it's about legacy for me. I kind of have this like, okay, each kid I want to have blah, blah, in my mind, you know what I mean? So I want to take this money. Obviously I want to, funnel it into investments, and real estate being one of the things. And yeah. Okay. But I'm not trying to drop no tea or anything. Okay. I haven't even started yet, but I know that is the next major goal. The next major goal it is to do that. Yeah, for sure.
So Taraji P. Henson is one person you love to meet. What about from the brand perspective? What is one brand you would love to work with that you haven't worked with yet?
My vision board literally is right here, and they are on there, and it's all states.
Okay.
Yes, so random. I'm sure you're probably like, what?
Yes, like, okay, tell me, what's the story behind it?
So,
Oh, and I want to tell you a story behind mine after you say Allstate.
okay, so Allstate has this program called the Purple Purse Project. And it's a project that supports women that have been through abusive relationships, that have been through financially abusive relationships. So where the man basically controlled the money. Maybe they were in a situation where they felt like they couldn't leave because they didn't have the financial resources. And something about that project just really touches me because of my situation. So I very boldly walked away from a relationship to, people probably thought, oh my gosh, you walked away from. Yeah, I did, because guess what? I'm never going to give a man the ability to feed me. I want to be able to feed myself. Like, if this is my partner, that's one thing, but it's just like, no, I'm going to show you that I can eat without you. You know what I'm saying? And so it really does have a deeper meaning for me, and a lot of the stuff that I went through as a single parent. And I would absolutely love to just go and speak to women that may be in that situation, or that has come out of that situation, because even when you come out of it, there's still so much healing that has to be done, and so many mindset blocks that you have to get over and get past. Because even for myself, once I reached a certain financial accomplishment, like, I was utterly shocked. Like, when you just never saw yourself making a certain amount of money, it's just like, what? And so it's still a constant thing with me. It's just like, oh my gosh, do I want to do this? Like, all these people are asking me to do this, and do I really want to do this? You know what I mean? And on a certain level, it's like, yeah, I'm past it. But then when we get up here and we're talking about commas and zeros, girl, yeah, I still have to say my affirmations and go and talk to my people that, are making 7 figures, and they pour into me. So I think it's super important to have a person that can mentor you on a level of financial success that you haven't experienced, to kind of get you past those blocks.
Absolutely. We all need mentors in every level. Every next level, you need a coach. Yeah. I don't think, like, I am coachable,
Absolutely.
Be coachable.
Absolutely.
When I was going to tell you my story, I hope that you get Allstate. I know you will. It's on your vision boards. You spoke it. It's coming. So one day I will, and you are so passionate about what you spoke about. My story isn't like that, though. I would love to work for Chevrolet, not work with Chevrolet. Why? Right. Because, like, 1 year after we got married, like, my husband's car broke down, and it was a Cadillac. So we got a Chevrolet. 17 years later, we still have the same Chevrolet. It has outlasted all of our cars. My son, who is 15, about to be 16 in July, 4 months, he'll be 16. He came home from the hospital in a Chevrolet. When he turns 16, we're going to give him this Chevrolet. So I would love if Chevrolet, we can give him that Chevrolet, they can give us a new Chevrolet.
Yes, girl. I'm going to believe that right along with you. Girl, you probably going to think I'm playing with you. But literally an hour before we talked, guess what I was online looking at? 2021 Chevy Traverse.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's a Chevy Silverado. It has outlasted all of our cars. Yes, we fixed stuff on it, but it's still there. And it was used when we got it. We got it from the dealership, but it has outlasted. And it's like, that was the only Chevy we ever had. Like, all the other, we've had Lexus, BMW, Mercedes, Expedition, other Ford, but that's Chevy. So
yes, honey, you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it. You spoke it. I believe it.
So what was the moment that you realized that you was just doing a thing? Like, you looked up, like you said, we're like, like, you looked up, was like, okay, I am doing a thing.
The crazy thing is, I feel like I've had several of those moments. I've had several of when people you look up to even know who you are. It's just like, okay, but I don't know. The pivotal moment I would have to say is when, who have I worked with that just really blew my mind? Well, recently, Google started a blog and they've reached out to me Let me just say that. Yeah, so Google started a blog. They reached out to me to feature me on their YouTube channel, to be featured on the blog. They actually just posted me on their Instagram today. So the goats themselves, the goats of the internet reached out to me, and that means everything to me because I'm so passionate about having your own blog. Like, I don't even think people fully realize like why you need a freaking blog. Like this week, I know 2 people literally that have inboxed me about something happening with their Instagram account, and they can't post, or they can't, their posts aren't getting any reach, and it looks like they're in another country and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, girl, because see, if you would have had a blog, you wouldn't have had to worry about that. But no, I think it was a moment that Google reached out for sure. For sure.
Not when you was on GMA. Yes, guys, she was on Good Morning America.
You know what? That actually was really big. That was shocking. That was shocking. That was shocking. But I don't know. I don't think.
So you didn't know you was gonna be on there?
No, yeah, I didn't know until the day before.
Oh, okay.
So they reached out the day before, told me what they were doing, and told me asked me if they could use my clip, yada yada. We went back and forth. So yeah, I didn't know until the day before the thing went live, girl. But I don't know, for some reason, like I said, because I'm so passionate about blogging and the fact that this is going to go further than that moment. This thing with Google will go further than, I guess for me, that was a moment. Okay. You know what I'm saying? A relationship means a lot more than a moment to me.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
You know? Yeah.
Sense. So because you are passionate about helping people start a blog, are you more passionate now about this versus like the YouTube? Because I know before it seemed like you were doing a YouTube, and I know you still do your YouTube, or is it the same? It's just connected.
Yeah, I won't let it go. It's still Google. Google's still on YouTube. I'm passionate about evergreen platforms. Okay. You know, I think that your blog should be the foundation, but video is king, and everybody knows I do video. Like, you know, I do video, but I do think it's important to implement evergreen platforms into your content strategy. And I happen to have 2, and they both are owned by Google. So, you know what I'm saying? And for me, it's just like, it all has to make sense. Yes, I'm passionate about blogging because I think long form content, when you can put it there and it's done right, and the SEO, that's content you can continue to share over and over and over and over, and it's going to help you rank, and it's going to be there, period. You know what I'm saying? Don't let that not be confused with I love video too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I absolutely love video. So I don't know. I love blogs, but I also love video. I think they work amazing together, especially if you're doing a blog and a YouTube, because it has catapulted me to a place that I don't even think I ever even thought about, honestly.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. How do you keep yourself leveled up? Like, how do you, I can't even ask that question any other way. How do you,
like, honestly, I'm just a naturally energetic person. I was a cheerleader in high school. I am naturally that way, and my mom is naturally that way. And me and my mom has a super close relationship. We talk every single day, probably 25 times a day. And so I try to surround myself with people that are like that. My mom is like that. My sister is like that. People that I put myself, so I'm in a coaching group right now with women that are like that. And so I don't know. I think I know that I have to. You know, I don't have time to be dwelling on anything else but the positive and moving forward and staying up. I mean, it's up. It's stuck.
I don't think I asked that question right, even though I'm grateful for that answer. But what I mean is, like, how do you keep yourself up to date with what's going on? You know what I'm saying? The top of your game. You know what I mean? Do you read? You know what I mean? Do you read books? You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so I do. I have an Audible subscription, and I make sure I get a book a month. Right now, I am reading The Big Leap, and if you have not read that, get it in your life. It is absolutely amazing.
I'm gonna write it down.
The Big Leap.
I've heard of it before.
I got the recommendation from Maddie James. It's so good. And I'm just at the beginning. I have literally done the first 3 chapters like 2 or 3 times just to let it sink in my spirit, honey.
So you're listening to that on Audible?
Yes,
Okay.
because I have children.
I get it.
Oftentimes I'm multitasking and cooking and this, and so I'll let it play, through girl, and my kids will start saying the stuff that it's saying. I'm like, yes, baby, you hear it. So yes, I do read books. Another thing that I think really contributes to that is I really, 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 really cultivate a positive social media feed. Like, it's important that I really curate the people that I follow. I just can't have you in my mental space if you are not motivating me on a certain. Unfortunately, I have unfollowed a lot of people. What's this, February, maybe in January, that I like, and they're cool and everything like that. But it was something about their content that just didn't inspire me. And so I unfollowed them, even though we cool. And it's like, yes, girl, I see you out here too. But I really just don't want to see you every single day. I'll go and check on your stuff when I need to. But I really have to keep inspiring things in front of me, if that makes sense. So I think maybe right now on Instagram, I follow 900 people. That sounds like a lot. I'm trying to get it down. Obviously, I don't see all 900 of those people's posts because this is Instagram, but I keep people in front of me that inspire me, people that are at the top of the game right now. Like I said, I'm looking at your Maddie Jameses every day. I'm looking at your Dana Boldens. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at your, what's her name? Can't think of her name. Tina Meeks. I mean, I'm looking at the people that are at the Aseki Bonaire. I'm looking at the people that are at the top of the game right now. You know what I'm saying? And while I feel like I am 100% in my own zone, in my own lane, I can keep it funky. I can keep it Nakisha and without, because some people you can look at them and sometimes you start feeling yourself. I have learned to take inspiration, but still be Nakisha. But I make sure I am keeping my eye on the people that are at the top of their game. And not only bloggers, because I follow a lot of coaches too, because I'm kind of doing a mixture of both right now. I follow a lot of coaches that I feel like are at the top, as well as content creators too. So I make sure I curate my social media feeds. I follow YouTube accounts that are business and inspirational. And I'm listening to E.T. the Hip Hop Preacher and Real Talk Kim. And I keep motivation in my ear and in my face
Constantly.
A lot. A lot.
That sounds just like me and my husband. Yeah. Ooh, yes, that sounds just like us. Every day, all day. Yes. And we try to have our children do the same thing. We have our 15-year-old listening to Eric Thomas too.
Yes.
At first he was like, whatever, but one day it just clicked and he just started listening to it on his own. So, so I was going to ask you what book are you reading, but you already said The Big Leap. So I am going to check that out because I just finished reading Trevor Noah's Born a Crime. That was a really good book. That was on Audible too. It's an 8-hour listen, but I have so many follow-up questions and I put that in my book. Like I would love to interview him one day because his story is just amazing. So what is your ultimate dream? We're going to wrap it down and tell me what your ultimate dream is.
Oh my goodness. Every time I tell people. So my ultimate dream is I would like to build a home off the grid in a remote location somewhere up in Colorado, Washington, Alaska even. Like I really love watching, oh my gosh, like I watch this show called Building Off the Grid. I watch a show called The Great Alaska. I'm so into like homesteading, right? I don't think I could homestead, but for some random reason, I just think it would be really cool to own like a vacation home off the grid somewhere, just in a remote location where it's just nature and peace. I guess because I've just been here all my life and in the midst of people all my life, that whole serene serenity, just being in nature, something about that just makes me feel at peace and peaceful, right? So I would love to buy some land somewhere, build a home, multiple homes, one for my mama, one for my sister, me, and just have a whole little village. And just have a whole little village. But yeah.
Do you watch Love and what is that? Love and Marriage in Huntsville?
No, I don't watch TV like that.
You don't watch TV? Okay. Well, no. They are, it's a family reality show, whatever. And they live in Huntsville, but they bought, I want to say like 200 something acres, and they are going to build like their family houses all on the land.
Oh, real girl. So
Mhm.
like when I do, so on the week, I don't watch it during the week unless it's basketball. Because I love me some sports. But if it's sports and something's come on, I will watch it. But the shows that I like to watch, I deep watch them on the what it's
Yeah,
called.
I watch nothing live except The View if I can watch it, but everything else is on my own time.
And
And
so
you are not, I'll say you're not missing nothing by not seeing that, but that
oh,
point, yeah, don't
maybe
go.
I shouldn't
It's
say I don't watch
okay.
TV. I don't watch TV during the week, but Saturdays is like my day to just lounge around and hang out with kids or whatever. And so I will watch TV on Saturday evenings. I watch, like I said, Building Off the Grid, the Alaska Show, just randomness. And YouTube, I watch a lot of tiny home stuff on YouTube, and I have my YouTubers I'll follow and watch or whatever. But yeah.
Well, that's cool. I know that will come true too. Colorado, I've never been there. That's one place I want to visit, Colorado.
Yes, I've never been there either, girl. Me either. I just have this wild dream of, I don't know, but not to live like full time, but just like a vacation home or something. I don't know. I just always have that. I tell my mom we should go and visit one before I talk about that's what I want to do. Because I always sit here and say, I'm going to own me a home off the grid. Never even been off the grid before. But
well, y'all got a vacation there. Y'all got to go there. Y'all got to do a family vacation.
Yeah, we got to do one. That's what I told my mom. I'm like, you know what? Maybe next January or February we can go and just go, because for some reason I'm just drawn to it. I don't know why. I have no clue why. So I really do need to go and explore that thought for sure.
And you're cool with the cold, right?
No.
Okay. So I don't know why you want to go in January and February.
Do you hear me? Because I've been in this heat my whole life. I'm telling you, I don't know what it is. My mom's like, Colorado, really? I'm like, yes, I just want to go and I want to see what it's like. I've never had to experience. Girl, when those people in Texas were out there dealing with all that, I was just like, oh my gosh, I guess that's why people say I don't really want to deal with the cold, but I just want to see what it's like for myself.
Yeah. Well, Atlanta, living in Atlanta, we had snow all the time. We didn't, it wasn't like Texas, but we did have snow. So if you ever moved to Atlanta, you would have got some coldness.
So what months is it really snowing, or can you just never tell?
Well, when I moved to Atlanta, they used to say they didn't get snow often, but it seemed like I might have brought the snow. I don't know, because it seemed like it snowed all the time.
Wow.
But they were so unprepared that, I'm from Chicago. So, snow doesn't mean, snow is like air. Life goes on, buses go on. But in Atlanta, they weren't prepared. So this flurry will bring people out to get the water, get the bread. Schools will stop. Everything will stop. That's why I would like it. I would love it to snow, because I'm like, I ain't got to go to work, because they think the world is ending.
Wow.
When it snowed in Atlanta. So just like a few years ago, I don't know if you heard of Snowmageddon, where people were stranded for years, not years, for hours on the highway, because at one point the whole city, like, this is Atlanta and this is the suburbs, they let everybody out in Atlanta in the suburbs at the same time because it started snowing. So people got stuck. People that were in Atlanta were trying to get home, trying to get their kids. Kids had to spend the night in school. People were stuck on the highway overnight because the snow came down so fast it froze. So I was 10 minutes away from my house, and I decided I got my kids, was on my way home, 10 minutes. I stopped trying to be a good mom and got them some Moe's. It took me 2 hours. Well, it was a 10-minute drive. 2 hours. My kids were screaming, and I'm one of the lucky ones. I know people that took them 10 hours, people that had to leave their cars. So that was Snowmageddon. That was maybe now 7 years ago, because we've been down here 5 years. So it's about 7 years ago when we still lived in Atlanta.
God. Oh my goodness. And then in the cold, stuck in your car.
But you know what? I would take that any day over what those Texans are going through with them busted pipes. You know what I mean? Like,
horrible.
Yeah.
That is horrible.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Why were the pipe, was it that cold that the pipes were bursting, or were they just not prepared?
It was that cold because the pipes weren't used to it. It has never, like, got that cold, maybe they say 10 years ago. So the pipes are just not used to that. And then what happens is, like, this is the pipe, and it's like little bitty, it's so cold it freezes, so little bitty holes, it just busts and the water just starts shooting. So
Because
Yeah.
I was so confused by that. Because it's a girl I follow on YouTube, and she literally showed hers, and she has a video and everything. And I'm like, but why? Like, why? Because I'm thinking, like you said, cities like Chicago and in Colorado, and their pipes don't burst. But now, see, that makes sense because the pipes aren't used to that type of cold.
Yeah, which means too, what quality of pipes are you using? But they're not used to that either. So let's talk about your launch of your blog accelerator. What's new with you, and what can people look forward to what's going on with your blog accelerator? Tell the people what it is first.
Okay, so I am launching a blog accelerator, basically where I'm going to take women through the process of building a profitable blog, right? So making the blog the foundation of your business. So we'll start there with clarifying your brand message and everything, and go all the way through the launch of your first digital products. I'm huge on digital products as well. That has really changed my business. Basically having your own brand before you get out here and try to promote somebody else's brand. Huge advocate on that. And so I'm going to be taking them through that process and everything that I did to build my business to where it is now, from starting the blog all the way through building those income streams and eventually becoming an influencer. Because I do think that influencer word is thrown around a lot when sometimes people don't even have an influence. So I want to take them through the process of still making money before you become that influencer. You got to you're not just going to sit around and wait for brands to pay you, right? And so I'm going to teach them what to do while you're in the waiting process. Super excited.
I like that, because so many times, people will say, how do I start a blog, or should I start a blog? Or they just think, well, when they start a blog tomorrow, where's the money? Where's the brands? Everybody, I got my pay set up, but like you said, in the waiting process, yes, you have to do something. Even my daughter, she has Bailey's Nail Box, but she wants to make YouTube videos, which I'm totally fine with, reviewing products and stuff. But I said, Bailey, you need to just review this pen. You know what I'm saying? Review this hat, to show them that you know what you're talking about, you know how to speak on camera, and then it'll come. You can't just be like, send me the stuff. You have to do it first and continue to do it.
Absolutely. Like, I love that you're teaching her that, because a lot of people do. They think that, okay, I got this blog up, girl. When am I going to make this money? I get people inboxing me all the time, like, okay, I'm ready. I want to go ahead and monetize. And then I go to their blog and it's like, are you serious? Girl, stop it. You are not ready. People think that brands are just out here passing out checks, and that's not what this is at all. That's not how none of this works, right? And so, to be honest, I have a very unpopular opinion on this, and I share it a lot. I don't think that everybody may be ready for brand deals, right? Because if you're going to do brand deals, you need to know how to promote somebody else's product and business. If you can't even promote you, what do you look like promoting somebody else? You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to walk through the process of how to build your blog, what to put in place in order to make that profit before you even get a brand deal, right? Because I feel like you need to have some sort of exposure to get out here and do brand deals and promote other people's product. Expose yourself first. And so that's what we're going to learn in the accelerator.
Well, congratulations on the new accelerator. I know you are excited about it. So when can people sign up?
So it's an application process. I'm going to be taking applications through the end of this month. We're going to be getting started the third week in March. So I'm going to go through the applications and see who I want to work with, because I do think you need to be at a certain point, right? I want to work with people who have shown and proven that they're ready to work. That means that your blog is up and you're actually posting consistently. You're on social media, and that you're trying to build something, and you really just need the guidance on how to turn this blog into a business. So there's an application process. They can find the application at nakishawynn.com/apply. And then they can apply for the program. I'll go through the application and see if I want to work with them, because I want to work with, like I said, people who are ready, and only a handful of women at first, because I really want to be hands-on. Want to give them feedback. We'll be working together one-on-one to make sure that they're ready to get out here and make this money.
And there is a cost. You don't have to sell the cost, but it is a cost, right?
Yes. This is not, I'm friendly, not free.
I'm friendly. That's right. Because you got to invest in yourself.
Absolutely. It's super important. I that's how I got to this point. I've invested in myself, and I think that I've done enough to prove that I'm worthy enough of the investment. You know, I think I turned this business around and done pretty decent for myself. I won't even go there with how much in a very short amount of time. Let's just say that.
Well, Nakisha, I want to thank you for being on Dream Girl Dream. And if you're watching, where can they visit you? Where are your social channels, your blog, everything?
Yes, you can find me at NakishaWynn.com and at Nakisha Wynn everywhere on social.
All right, guys. So do you want to say anything else to the girls about dreaming? Any last tip? Anything?
Well, I just want to say, believe in yourself. If you have a dream and something that you really want to do, pursue it. Don't let anything stop you. Don't let other people's opinions or your limiting beliefs or the negative self-talk stop you from doing it. Go after it because you're worthy and you deserve to live a life you love.
Yay! So thank you, Nakisha. And until next time, girls, dream, girl, dream.
Yes.